Paramahamsa Sri Nithyananda, or Swamiji, is a revolutionary spiritual master of our millennium. He walks on a mission to heal the world through the powers of meditation. Swamiji chose to be born as Rajashekaran in the sacred town of Tiruvannamalai in southern India. Mastering yoga and rigorous spiritual practices at a young age, Rajashekaran finally left home for the Himalayas in the quest of the ultimate truth. This quest led his feet to the holiest of pilgrimage spots and to great spiritual masters in India and Tibet. After years of wandering, study, and intense penance, the boy Rajashekaran experienced the ultimate flowering of consciousness on January 1st, 2000. Rajashekaran became Paramahamsa Sri Nithyananda. Guided by a divine vision, Swamiji set up Dhyanapitham, a worldwide movement for meditation in Bidadi near Bangalore in India. At the ashram, seekers aged between 8 and 18 live and learn in the Master's presence. Ananda healing, a unique healing science formulated by Swamiji, has been baffling the medical world by curing diseases ranging from migraine to cancer. Qualified individuals are also initiated by Swamiji into Ananda healing. Today there are over 300 healing centers and over 700 healers worldwide. The Ananda Spurana program is an intensive workshop for chakra healing and meditation that brings together philosophies and techniques from the world's major spiritual streams. The Nithyananda Spurana program, or NSP, is an advanced level course where participants work on all their 7 energy bodies. Ananda Yoga is an introductory program to help integrate meditation into our normal lifestyle with practical and powerful techniques to cope with work stress, ill health, and failing relationships. Swamiji also reaches out to people with dhyana satsangs or mass meditation camps that take meditation to the remotest towns and villages of India. Swamiji travels the world, committed to spreading awareness about the role of individual transformation in shaping global communities. With a pragmatic vision that links Eastern philosophy to the Western scientific thought, Swamiji continues to awaken humanity to the significance of spirituality in our time.
Brahmanandam Paramashivoham Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gaganasadrisam Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Welcome you all with my love and respects. subject is gratitude is prayer. Generally, our religious life starts in prayer, ends in gratitude. Prayer has got different dimensions. It gets matured as you get matured. Prayer is the bridge towards divinity. Prayer is the bridge towards your higher consciousness. Prayer is the bridge to take you beyond the sufferings of the planet Earth. Prayer is the technique, is the method to lead you to superconscious state. Let us understand the various dimensions of prayer step by step. One thing, prayer has got different forms. Nothing is higher, nothing is lower. Whatever way you can start, you can start. But naturally, you will be growing towards the higher level of consciousness. First thing, in the physical level, prayer starts in the physical level, going to the temple, praying to God, praying to the murtis of gods and goddesses, and doing some puja, doing some havan. First, physical thing. Prayer should be started in physical way. Many people come and ask me, Swamiji, why we have idol worship in Hinduism? I always tell them, no, we don't have idol worship. We worship through idol, not the idol itself. There's a big difference. What we do is worship through idol, not idol worship. When you stand in front of idol, do you pray, "Oh stone, please give me boon. Oh copper, please give me boon"? No. You say, "Oh Shiva, please give me boon. Oh Rama, please give me boon. Oh Vishnu, please bless me." You relate to the divine through idols. Idols are bridges to take you beyond the forms. There's a beautiful incident in Vivekananda's life. Vivekananda was wandering all over the India. He went to a king's palace. The king is little intellectual guy. He is a guy who is little bit educated in the Western system of thoughts. He started questioning Vivekananda. Why should idols be worshipped? Why should idols be respected? Vivekananda said, just give me a few minutes, I will explain to you. So he continued the conversation on some other topic. Suddenly, he called one of the ministers, Vivekananda called one of the ministers of the king and told, "Can you get the photograph of your king?" which was hanging on the wall. Minister said, "Why not?" He just brought the photograph and gave it to the Vivekananda, gave it to Swamiji. Vivekananda said, "Can you spit on it?" The minister was just shocked. Minister said, What are you talking? It is the photograph of our king. How can you say I should spit on it? Vivekananda says, what is this? It is just a paper and canvas cloth. It is just a paper and canvas cloth. Why are you taking things so seriously? Just now your king said, why should idols be respected? Idols be worshipped. It is just a paper and canvas. It is just a canvas cloth and paint. Minister said, no, it is not simple canvas cloth and paint. As long as the paint and the canvas cloth are separate, it is cloth and simple paint. The moment you started representing our king's form, it's a picture of our king, portrait of our king. I can't spit. It represents our king. I can't spit on it. Vivekananda said, understand. Even your photo, when your photo can receive so much of respect, why not God's photo? Why not God's idol? Why not God's murti? Ramana Maharshi answers beautifully. As long as you feel you have a body, as long as you feel you are a body, it is good to start with idol worship. It is good to start with Vigraha Puja. The problem is, the moment you read one or two books, you start thinking, you know, all the philosophy, you become God. The moment you start thinking you become God, you stop the Vigraha Puja. There are few people who always think they are flying, but they don't even move. So the people who read few books and who think they have reached everything, they achieved everything just after reading few books. Ramana Maharshi says beautifully, as long as you feel you have a body, as long as you eat, you take bath, as long as you think you have to maintain your body, it is good to do the Vigraha Puja. He says in a very humorous way, the sandal which is applied on your body starts smelling within an hour, but when you apply it on your God's idol, it never gives any bad smell. The food which you eat in 3 hours, how it transforms, you know, but never the food offered to the God's idol. So as long as you have an idea that you are having a body, it is good to start with idol worship. Nothing wrong. It's actually a technique to go beyond the form. As long as you have a body consciousness, meditate on some form. This is the physical level of prayer. The first level which is done. There is one more small scientific research which I wanted to refer. There's a great scientist who went and stayed in Amazon forest with a small group of tribal villagers. The tribal group is famous for one thing. They have a belief, by making the idol of a certain person, they heal him or kill him. They don't do anything. They just make an idol of a particular person. If that person needs healing for hands, they put medicine on this idol in the hands, and the person gets cured. And if they want to kill somebody, they just break the hands of the idol and the person dies. Of course, when you hear, it looks like a story. But the scientist wanted to know what is the truth. So he went with his 3 assistants, stayed there for 10 years. Understand? Not for 1 day or 2 days. 10 full years he stayed with them. Learned their language, learned their way of living, ate their type of food, lived in their own houses, related and mingled with them. Almost he lost his identity, and he has also become a tribe. 100 incidences he has video recorded and observed. He says 100 incidences which I did research by videographing and audio recording and taking research hints and getting the experience, observing the experience of the people. After doing research over the 100 incidences, he says more than 96 incidences proved to be totally truth, 100% effective. Other 4 created effect but not 100%. 96% is not a small amount. In 100 incidents, 96 proved to be the truth. It happened actually. He says they use a sort of a vibration mantra. First they make an idol and they use the vibrations, mantras, to provoke that person into this idol. Then they treat that idol or kill him. If he is a criminal, they kill that idol. Or if he has to be helped, they treat that idol and heal him. You will be surprised to hear one more thing. They say even they are able to relate with the person who is dead already. Even with a person who is already dead, they are able to relate through the idols. He has proved, he has clearly observed and recorded it, how they are doing. When I read, I understood. If you can relate with an ordinary man, ordinary mortal through idol, can't you relate with the existence, with Parashakti, with the Brahmanda, with the immortal divine through idol? You can. The spiritual people, the great mystics who dive deep into their inner consciousness, who achieved something in a spiritual level, they all created wonderful techniques for others also to reach the same level. Idol worship, the Vigraha Puja, is one of the techniques created by those great mystics. There's a two kind of religion. One is just a social law. How many times you can eat, how many hours you can sleep, how many wives you can marry, what all, how many kids you can have. Just a social religion, social rules. There's another kind of religion, which is spiritual religion, to show you the true nature of your being, to help you to reach the ultimate consciousness, to help you to taste the ultimate bliss, the spiritual bliss. The second kind of religion, which work on the inner world, in the mysteries of the mysteries, in a deeper conscious level. Those great masters only created the techniques and gave it to us in the form of idols. The Kali is a philosophical representation of the spiritual wisdom. See, when you cut your ego, with the Jnana with the sword of knowledge, you will be protected and taken care. That is what Kali says. Through her four hands. When you cut your ego by the sword of knowledge, divine existence will protect you and existence will take care of you. So every form of a god is representation of great spiritual wisdom, some or other spiritual wisdom. First, prayer starts in the level of physical worship. Then next, it goes to the level of verbal worship. You chant the stotras, you chant the mantras, you do the nama japa, chanting by words, you worship the divine, you pray. Now you come to a little higher level. First puja, then japa, stotra or repetition of the God's mantra. All these things are verbal prayer. Verbal prayer plays a major role in keeping the mind in higher form, in the higher level. The remembrance of some sacred syllable, continuous repetition with awareness, that's the important thing. Without awareness, repeating will become an unconscious habit. Please don't do that. There are many people, Rama, 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 Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hey, did you switch off the telephone? Did you switch off the oven? And then again Rama, Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Rama, Rama. No. Not with unconsciousness, but with conscious awareness. Again and again, consciously repeating the divine name, the Lord's name, can lead you to the higher consciousness. The more your mind is filled with some sacred syllable, sacred words, the more your inner chattering will be cleansed. Your inner chattering has almost become like a junk. So much of unnecessary things you throw into it. So much of repression and suppression. So much of anger and violence you suppress inside your being. Where will all that go? It will go and disturb your inner chattering. Your inner chattering is made out of a stuff which you suppress inside. If you suppress too much of violence, if you suppress too much of sex, if you suppress too much of anger, those things only will come out in your inner chattering unconsciously. All your inner chattering is made of the same stuff which you suppress inside. What you put inside, that only will come out naturally. If you put mantras inside, the sacred syllables inside, the divine words inside, the stotras inside, good words inside, you will see you are radiating the same beautiful words, same beautiful feeling, same beautiful bliss. The more you chant the right words, less you will be chanting the wrong words. People ask me, why should we chant God's name so much? Otherwise you will be chanting your wife's name. That is what we will be doing in our life. If you don't chant God's name, you will be chanting somebody else's name in your mind. Your mind cannot remain unoccupied. Your mind cannot be empty. If you chant Lord's name, you will be occupied in a positive way. You will reach the higher consciousness. Otherwise, you will be chanting your boss's name, or your wife's name, or your friend's name. It is a big cleansing process. Your inner chattering will have a new experience. Your inner being will have a new space. It will experience a new consciousness if you can use the technique of verbal prayer, using some divine name, using some sacred syllable. If you don't like some divine name, even the words like Om Shanti or just Om, even those words will help you tremendously. Even those words can create a beautiful vibration in you. Just the other day one boy was asking, Swamiji, what is the meaning of the word Om? Om is the sound from which the whole world is created. Today modern day physics scientists are agreeing with this concept. They say from sound came light, from light came the whole universe. So the root goes back to sound. And you will be surprised. In one place called Uttarameru in Tamil Nadu, they were doing Mahamrityunjaya Homa. Mahamrityunjaya Homa with the mantra of Shiva. Continuously the Homa was going on for 3 days. A group of Westerners, they come there just as a tourist. They just wanted to see what is going on. They are brought and they are showed what is going on. They asked, what is going on? Why are you offering all the good food varieties and everything inside the fire? Why are you throwing all these things into the fire? Why are you putting all the valuable clothes inside the fire? Why are you burning it away? Why are you destroying all these things? It seems the priest said, no, we are offering it to the God. Scientists, the tourists, they laugh. What are you talking? How it will reach God if you put it in the fire? Priest said, no, we invoke God in the form of mantra. Through mantra in this Agni, then we offer it to Him. The curious scientists, they took Kirlian photography. Kirlian photography is one of the highly scientifically developed diagnostic system today. It is accepted as one of the important diagnostic system in Russia. Just like X-ray, through this Kirlian photography, you can find out any disease before happening. In X-ray, you can diagnose only after it happens. It's almost like X-ray, which photographs your aura body. Every thing in the planet Earth emits particular light. Not only the living being, even the dead things. Everything emits particular color, particular ray of light. Kirlian photography is the method to photograph that light, aura body. They took few Kirlian photographies. You will be surprised to hear the results. In all the photographs, the dancing form of Shiva appeared in the same way. In all the photographs, there is a clear proof record. In all the photographs, dancing form of Shiva appeared in a same way. Mantras are not as simple as you think. When you do it with devotion and consciousness, they create their own effect, their own energy. Second is the verbal prayer. Third is the important thing, mental prayer. When prayer reaches the third dimension, it becomes mental. First it is physical, second verbal, third mental. In mental level it is called as meditation. In physical level it is called worship or puja. In the verbal level it is called japa. In the mental level it is called meditation, dhyana. When you reach this level, neither your body needs to be involved, nor your inner chanting needs to be involved. Just your being will start relating. In japa, it is a communication. In dhyana, it is a communion. In prayer, it is communication between you and God. In meditation, it is a communion with you and God. You start experiencing the taste of divine. You start experiencing the glimpse of divine. You start experiencing the glimpse of bliss. Important thing, as long as you do puja or japa, you and God are different. The moment you enter into dhyana, you start realizing godliness in you. You start experiencing the divine in you. You start getting the glimpse of what you worshipped all these years. The unique communion starts between you and you. It is not even between you and God, because God becomes part of your being, you become part of Him. Drop merges into the ocean, ocean merges into the drop. You start experiencing the glimpse, you start feeling you are the part of the whole. The Advaitic experience, Advaitic means non-dualistic. A feeling of oneness starts happening inside your being. A different kind of experience. As long as you do the japa, you are worshipping. The moment you enter into dhyana, you merge with the object which you worshipped. With that, you become one. You start experiencing the consciousness. The final step comes, the fourth thing, where neither you nor the God exists. Both disappear into one experience. That is what I call gratitude. The beginning, the physical level, you worship. This is the puja, worship. In the verbal level, you chant, japa. This is what I call repetition of the names. In the mental level, you meditate, you experience the divine in you. That is what I call dhyana. And in the spiritual level, the fourth level, spiritual level, you experience not only the oneness, even the idea of oneness disappears. There is only one thing remains, gratitude. Towards whom? Towards nobody, just gratitude. Not even addressed to somebody. As long as the gratitude is addressed to somebody, there is two persons. Person who gives, person who receives. But at the ultimate level, it is not even addressed to somebody. It just overflows. Energy expresses itself in the form of gratitude. Energy expresses itself in the form of bliss, deep feeling of fulfillment. That is what we call samadhi. Samadhi means the being, after getting totally fulfilled, expresses itself in the form of energy. There is nobody who expresses and there is nobody who receives, just experience. In this level, the experiencer and the experienced merges into experience. In that moment, only one thing exists, that is simply experience. Neither experiencer nor the experienced. Both merges into one being. That is what we call experience. You feel so much, life is showering on you. You feel it is too much. I can't tolerate anymore. It is so much of joy, so much of ecstasy. You start losing your identity. You start losing your boundary. You can have identity as long as you have a trace of suffering. The moment suffering disappears, you lose your boundary. Understand? An important thing you need to understand. You can have ego only if you have suffering. Your ego cannot exist without suffering. Suffering is the root for your ego. It is an important thing you need to understand. We always think the other way. Ego is disturbed by suffering. No, ego is enriched by suffering. An important thing. If your suffering is less, your ego is less. You feel you are too small, so you increase your suffering. You increase your suffering so that you can feel you are somebody. Ask anybody about their life. How is your life? They will tell, Swamiji, nobody should suffer like me. I am the person who suffered most on this planet Earth. Even my enemy should not get this much of suffering. They know how to write their biography. Ask anybody to start their biography, this will be the first sentence to introduce themselves. Less the suffering, your ego is less. More the suffering, your ego becomes more strong. So you always exaggerate your suffering. The problem is, after some time you forget you exaggerated and you are also caught in the same net. It is you who create more bigger net for you and exaggerate. No, you don't know my life, you don't know my suffering, how much I have to struggle and all those things. After some time, you are caught in the same net. You are caught in the same net which you created. A small story. One yellow journalist. Here, what do you call yellow journalist?
Tabloid.
People who write continuously about celebrities.
Tabloid.
Tabloid. One tabloid journalist. He reached hell. Of course, they will reach only to that area. They can reach only to hell. He reached hell. But somehow he managed to beg the God, please just let me enjoy the heaven only one day. Anyhow, I am going to be in the hell eternally. Can't you be little compassionate towards me, just 24 hours? God said, you are a dangerous guy, you can't be allowed in the heaven. You may write something about me. You are a difficult guy, you can't be let in. You can even believe lawyers but not a black journalist. It's difficult. But somehow he convinced, no, in 24 hours I can't write anything. After all, your guys are editors. I can't do anything. Please, why don't you let me in just for 24 hours? God said, all right, come in. The moment he jumped in, he started demanding. If I make someone of your journalists, if I convince someone of your journalists to go to the hell, will you give me job here? God said, my people will never get convinced to go to hell. He said, all right. These guys started spreading rumors. You know how these guys spread rumors. He started spreading rumor. A new Satan, new devil has taken over the hell, and it has become totally high tech. It has become centralized AC, and all the eternal hell or eternal fire concept is wrong. Now it is totally updated. Anybody who wants, they can go there, and especially they want to start a new newspaper. If you are experienced here, there is every chance you can become an editor there. He started spreading news. You know how these guys will spread news. Any news if you want to spread, just you have to tell that news to somebody and take promise. Don't tell others the secret. Just take only one promise. Don't tell others the secret. And that person will tell the next person and don't tell others the secret. In 10 minutes, even the dog will bark. Anyhow, the news has spread all over the heaven. After 24 hours, the journalist is about to leave the gates of the heaven. He came to the gates. God says, no, you cannot go away from heaven. You have to stay here. This guy asked, why? You do not know, we had 10 editors, all the 10 escaped. They are now in the hell. We don't have any journalists. We don't have anybody to do our job. You have to be here. By now, after talking same thing again and again and again, this guy himself is slowly convinced that in the hell, everything is updated and he's going to have a good job. He says, no, I have to go to hell. I also want to become editor. God said, hey fool, you are the guy who spread this rumor. Why are you believing? You are the one who created the rumor. Journalist says, no, I may have created. But when 10 people believe, there must be some truth in it. When so many people are believing, it cannot be a lie. There must be some truth. Let me just give a check. When you create, only you create. When again and again you repeat, and when people start believing it, you also start falling in the same net. You also start believing. One religious preacher, I met him in India. He's a very aggressive preacher. He came to me for healing. He told me he has got some personal problem and he wants healing. After healing, I was speaking to him. Why are you preaching so aggressively, condemning all other religions? Your religion is great, no doubt, but why should you condemn others? He says, Swamiji, unless I convert people, I am feeling insecure. When I see 10,000 people are believing, following my ideas, I feel safe. Oh, what I am preaching is truth. I feel 10,000 people can't be fools. I may be telling wrong things, but when 10,000 people are believing, there must be some truth in it. So when 10,000 people are converted, I feel little more strong in my faith. So when many people believe, when you created the net, you also fall in the same net. In your life also, you create an idea. Your life is more suffering, more misery. By and by, you start believing the same thing. If you analyze very clearly, you will see there are thousands of miseries just created by your own mind, your own words. It is just your creation, but you forget that you are the one who created. When ego disappears, you will be merged inside the bliss. When you merge inside the bliss, ego disappears. When you go really deep into your being, when you become one with the existence, when you experience, only gratitude flows, only grateful feeling overflows. It is just gratitude. That's a beautiful meditation in Sufism. They say the only way to relate with God is gratitude. Because with gratitude, you start experiencing Him. With prayer, you only start relating with Him. With gratitude, you start experiencing Him. The deeper level of your being, your spiritual layer, start experiencing with gratitude. Understand few things. How many things you are showered in your life? How much God has showered? But we never look into the things which is showered on us. We always look, what next? What next? Huh? What next? I never forget to tell this small story. It's a very nice story. One guy was praying to God in temple. Oh God, please just give me $100 to take care of my 1 week. Within a week, I'll get my job, and afterwards, I will start donating to you. Just for 1 week, please give me $100 to take care of myself. Priest felt very compassionate. He thought I should help him. Priest heard the prayer and he felt really I should help him. But he is also poor. He put $50 in a cover, went to that boy and handed over. You see, God told me to give this cover to you. Please have it. The guy ran to his home, opened the cover, saw $50. Again started praying. Oh God, next time when you send money, please send directly, not through this priest. He has taken away half of his commission. You do not know how the mind behaves. The guy did not bother about the $50 which he received. He is bothering about the $50 which is not received by him. Our mind is also works in the same way. You bother about the things which has not happened to you, but you never bother about the things which has happened to you. If you are asked to write a list of things which God has not given you, will that list ever end? You will start with limousine and it will go longer than limousine. And if you are sincerely If you start writing the list of things which God has given you, again that list also can never end. Because every inhaling, exhaling breath is given to you by divine. Can you say you earned it? No. Every inch, every moment of life is given to you by divine. Can you say you made it? You created it? No. Your very life, your very existence is given from the divine. If you honestly make a list of things which is given to you by God, again it will never end. So many things, so much is showered. Can you say you created your life? Can you say you created your one single inhaling or exhaling breath? No. A small story. A big scientist gathering. They all decided, all the scientists put together, they decided, now we can do anything which God does. Now we can do anything which God does. Why should there be God at all? We can do by ourselves. What do you say? God creates man. We will also clone. What do you say? God does this. We will also do that. They became so advanced. They decided, now we can tell God to go and rest. We don't need anymore. We don't need Him anymore. We are done. We are doing everything by ourselves. Let Him retire. God said, all right, let us have a small competition. First, He created something to fly. Immediately scientists also created aeroplane. Then He created fire. Scientists also created something to destroy the fire. Competition went on, went on. Finally, God just took a dust and created a human being. Scientists also, they took a dust and created a human being out of clothing. God said, no, stop, bring your own dust and do it. Not from my dust. Understand, you can't create even an inch. The whole thing is just given to you by divine. But when we take our life for granted, we live in a deep misery. Two list of things is there in front of you. One is the things which is given to you, which is showered on you. The other one is the things which you don't have. Now it is up to you whether to look into the things which you don't have, continuously suffer and make your life as a hell, or to look at the things which you have continuously and feel joyful ecstasy and enjoy it. Whether to look at this side or to look at this side is under your choice. Bliss is simply your choice. Gratitude is simply your choice. It is you who is supposed to decide what is your life is supposed to be. Whether it should be hell or it should be heaven. It is simply your choice. When you look at the things which is showered on you, which is given to you, then you will understand how much existence protects you. Divine takes care of you. God showers on you. One guy went to a real estate agent and wanted to sell his house. After a week, ran to the agent and told, no, I don't want to sell my house. Please remove the advertisement. Agent was surprised. He asked, why? Why you don't want to sell? The guy said, only after seeing your advertisement in the paper, I realized my house is exactly as I wanted it to be. My house is exactly as I wanted it to be. It's really exactly as I always wanted it to be. Only then I realized how beautiful my house is. You take things for granted. You take persons for granted. You take life for granted. Ultimately, when you take life for granted, you feel bored. When you make things unconscious, you feel bored. There was a great saint who lived in Maharashtra. Last 10 years of his life, he was asked by doctors to eat the same type of food. Same type of food, same little rice and greens. Because his stomach has become very sensitive. Every day he will eat the same food. The devotee who cooked, she got fed up actually, cooking the same food. She went to the master and asked, Master, are you not bored eating the same food? I am bored cooking the same food. Are you not bored eating the same food? Master says beautifully, listen, he says, I am not eating the same food. How can I eat the same food? Every day it is different. Every day it is new. Every day it is totally different. How can I eat the same food next day? No. When you generalize, you feel bored. When you understand, when you live moment to moment, everything looks very fresh. When you live moment to moment, things really look fresh, and you live and you feel grateful to the existence. When you take things for granted, you feel bored, dull, tired, depressed. Biggest problem which I see, at least in this country, is taking things for granted. That is why so much, even after having so many entertainment things, you feel so much of boredom. Depression has become a big disease. Obesity is nothing but taking the food for granted. When you take food for granted, you try so many other new techniques. Again you feel unfulfilled. Again you try some more techniques. Continuously you take things for granted and try new things. The more you try, you get more bored, more depressed. When you really live with a deep sensitivity, with understanding, without taking things for granted, you will experience a new space in your being, and you will experience deep joy in your being. You will experience different gratitude towards the whole towards life, towards persons, towards situations, ultimately towards the whole existence. Gratitude is the ultimate prayer. Gratitude is the greatest attitude. Gratitude is the greatest attitude which you can have towards human beings, towards life, towards persons, towards situations. So gratitude is the greatest attitude towards God. Gratitude is the ultimate prayer. Let you experience the gratitude. Through the gratitude, experience the eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you. You are happy? You are satisfied? Okay. Yes.
might be apparent contradiction in terms of what you shared. One of the questions by another devotee yesterday before was that for spirituality to be experienced, and to be one on the spiritual form, divine grace is required. And you said that without divine grace, there's no spirituality. And on the other hand, devotees are encouraged to put in their own effort or their free will and effort in order to gain spirituality. Can you clarify that?
See, the free will is the divine grace. If you use it towards the divine, you will be given more free will. The effort and the grace is one and the same. The effort and the grace is one and the same. Understand this small example. A cow, if it is tied with a 5-meter rope in a pole, inside that 5 meter, the cow can sit, stand, or eat the grass, or sleep. It has got free will. But more than that 5 meter, it has no free will. But if the cow behaves properly inside that 5 meter, the rope length can be extended or totally it can be set free. Same way, the free will which you have in your hand, a small amount of free will, if you put towards that effort to do the spiritual practice, the free will be increased. So naturally you will have more effort. The divine will grace you through the free will, which can in turn be increased as more effort. The more effort, more grace. The more grace, more effort. It just becomes a circle to reach, to make you towards the enlightenment. So, if you have the will to do practice, understand the first grace of the divine has descended on you. First ray of grace of divine has descended on you. Put your effort and start doing. You will see, you will be more and more showered by divine grace. The very feeling, very idea, the very clarity to start traveling the spiritual path comes to you only when the divine grace descends on you, not before that.
Yesterday I attended a visit a God and writing a quotation to dissolve from time into timelessness, words into wordlessness, the matter into energy, to experience the divine. And could you please throw some light on the third one from matter to energy, which I'm not able to understand?
Yes. Now you experience the whole world just as a matter. Only as a matter. But not only the mystics. Now after Einstein, even the physics scientists have very clearly declared there is no such thing as matter exists on the universe. Everything is energy. The first batch of scientists, they declared in atom there is one particle which is matter, another one is energy. After the next batch, they declared, no, same particle is matter at particular time, energy in the next moment. Next, now, they say the quantum physics. It is matter and energy at the same time. There is no even time-space gap. It is simply energy. It is simply energy. Understand? The idea of matter enters into you as long as you think you are matter. As long as you identify yourself with the body, you think the existence is also matter. Once you experience the glimpse of that energy in you, you will understand the whole thing is energy. For example, when you look at a rose early in the morning, you stop. The moment you look at the rose, immediately the rose god appears in your mind. Next will be all the roses which you have given to somebody, presented to somebody, are the roses presented to you, that memory. Third, how you behave or how she behaved. Fourth, whether love or hatred related to that incident. Slowly, the thinking will go on. You will forget the real rose which is here. That is what usually happens in our mind. The moment you start verbalizing, you miss what is reality. Your mind goes somewhere. You are somewhere else. Try this simple experiment. Sit with some tree, or with some plant, or with some thing. Don't use the name. If it is rose plant, don't use the word rose bush. It is beautiful. Don't use all those words. Drop all the words. It's looking nice. It's colorful. Don't use all those words. Drop all the words. Just see as if a child sees how he looks. Only after 3 years your verbalization starts. Below 3 you don't have verbalization. If a child sees, how he or she will see. When a child sees, he looks through his whole being. That is why you can see their eyes so bubbling, so alive. There is no words inside. Now for us, our mind is creating words. In Patanjali there is a beautiful word called ojas. Means, you need to understand. Many people ask me, Swamiji, how when we listen to your discourse, we forget the time? How it happens? We are just sitting. How our mind is so concentrated. One important thing you should understand, when I speak, if I have the inner chattering, when you hear, you will also have inner chattering. When I speak, if I don't have two mind, if I am total, you also have to listen totally. Automatically your mind will become one. If I am double, if I am 2%, you will also be 2%. If I am single, naturally you will become single. When you are single, without having two things, seeing and verbalizing, the rose also will start looking in a different way. Now, because you are double, one is seeing, another one is verbalizing. With kids, two things never happens. They don't verbalize. They just see. Just like a child, look freshly, directly, without words. Don't use all your knowledge about rose bush. Don't use all your analysis about rose. Don't use all those things. Just look directly, simply, without knowing about the words, about the brand, about the color. All those things are just foolishness. Just yesterday, we have been to Fossil Ring. All those animals, to see all those animals. Some of the devotees were with me. Continuously they are analyzing the brochure. What is the name, from which country, and all those things. Of course, I was just feeling, just seeing itself is so much. I never felt like asking their name or which country, all those, these, that, details. When you intensely feel, that itself is more than enough. When they tell the name, all right, okay, but even knowing the name, what am I going to do? What are you going to do? Nothing. If you enjoy the scene, that's enough, over. It is for the people who do research, for them to know the name, age, and all those things. From which country, these, that, details. For us, just the scene, how beautiful, over. When you look at the rose plant, instead of bringing words about the plant in your mind, just look. If a child looks, how he will look, how she will look. In the same way, look. Don't allow any thoughts. Look deeply. You will see that rose is a living energy just like you. You will feel the same energy which you feel inside you into that rose. If you master this technique only once if you master this technique with the rose, you can relate with anything and feel it is energy, it is not matter. You can relate with stone, you can relate with the tree, you can relate with moon, you can relate with sun, you can relate with idols and feel they are gods, they are energies, not matter. So only once, if you know that knack and technique to relate with the existence without words, you will dissolve matter into energy. You will experience matter into energy. You will start feeling it's a living beings. Ramakrishna says, when I do the Kali Puja, sometimes if I get a doubt whether it is a Vigraha or whether it is a just idol or Devi, I'll take a thread and keep near her nose to see whether she is breathing or not. Always thread used to move because of her inhaling and exhaling. He says because of her inhaling and exhaling, thread used to move. When you know a simple technique of having a glimpse, one glimpse of relating with the divine without words, then you will know how to dissolve the matter into energy. Then your whole life is just energy. There is nothing called matter on the planet Earth, on the universe, because universe is energy. Existence is energy. That's what we say in the Upanishads. Prajnanam Brahma. Intelligence is existence. The whole existence is intelligence. It is not a dead matter. It's a prajnanam. It is a living existence. When you realize the whole thing is energy, you will understand it's a living existence. Prajnanam Brahma. Thank you.
If any questions?
Yeah, one, two. You mentioned about suffering. Suffering, you look at, you have mental suffering, you have physical suffering. Is there unity in suffering? And you said that you should get rid of your ego and hence you would reduce suffering. But some of us, we have a lot of physical suffering. How do you overcome that?
It's a wonderful question. But sorry to be truthful. Sometimes truth hurts. It is our ego which invites even physical suffering. Let you understand little deeply. Ramana Maharshi was questioned by one of his disciples. Ramana Maharshi had a cancer in his last phase of his life. Somebody questioned him, Bhagavan, are you suffering? He says, there is a pain but not suffering. There is a pain but no suffering. It's a little intricate thing to understand. When you have the attitude to attract the pain, attract the suffering, you create more and more sufferings in you. More and more pain in you. The mental setup which attracts the pain, which attracts the suffering, is what I call ego. There is a particular mental setup which we may call it as karma, but I don't want to use that big word. I call it mental setup. That mental setup is one of the important reasons for all our even physical sufferings. Every pain has got its own emotional root. according to the Puranas, even the accidents are your own guests. You invite them. Even the accidents. One important thing you should understand, when I say it may look like a story, it may look like a tale. When you look little deeply to analyze, when you look little deeply into the mind, you will be able to understand there can be nothing on the planet Earth which is not having any cause. There can be no coincidence in the planet Earth. Can you say anything happens without cause? Everything happens only with a cause and effect. Only with a cause there is an effect. When you don't understand the link between cause and the effect, you say it is coincidence or miracle. When you don't understand the link, when you understand the link between cause and effect, you say it is logical. When you are not able to understand the cause and effect, if it happens in some higher plane or lower plane, if it happens in lower plane, you say coincidence. If it happens in higher plane, you say miracle. But in the planet Earth, there can be nothing. There can't be anything. There can't be anything on the planet Earth which has no cause. Anything has to have cause. Unless there is a cause, effect can never happen. Can you say something can happen without cause? No. One important theory, now they are coming up with this theory in physics field. If an atom is moving here, in some other part of the world, the same atom is happening in a different, if it is moving here from here to here, there to here, then if it is from east to west here, there it is from west to east. No movement is just a silent, independent movement on the planet Earth. They are coming up with a new theory in the physics. No movement, no effect is without cause, or no cause goes without effect. If you look little deeply, all our physical, not only physical diseases, even the accidents we invite. The problem is, it is so unconscious. The mental thinking, the 90% of our thinking happens so unconsciously. We are not able to find or connect the cause and the effect. Just understand one thing. You are here now because of all your past decisions. You decided to hear about me coming, and then you decide to get the more information. Then you decide to take your car and drive. Then you decide to stop your car here. Then you decide to come in and sit. Then you decide to continue to sit. The totality of all these decisions only is making you to sit here. Totality of all these past decisions are your present moment. That is your present moment. The present totality of present decisions will be your future. That is what is whole karma theory. Totality of all your past is present. Totality of your present will be your future. The problem is, most of the decisions we take unconsciously. There are so many thousands of decisions we take unconsciously. That is the reason you are not able to connect the cause and the effect. Flood more awareness, more intelligence into your thinking system. Flood more awareness, more consciousness into your decision-making system. People ask me, Swamiji, how do we take birth? Who decides our life? I tell you, it is you who decide even your life. It is you who decide even your body. You may think, what are you talking, Swamiji? Whether you believe or not, whether you accept or not, whether you understand or not, there are few truths, they are truths. They may not have become facts by scientific research, but they are truths. Even before Newton discovered gravitation theory, gravity was there. Am I right? Before Newton also, apples are falling down. Do you think before Newton apples are going up? No. Before Newton also, apples are falling down. Before Newton, gravitation was a truth. After Newton, it has become a fact. He made it as a clear fact and figures. Same way, there are the few truths. They have not yet become facts. They are truths, but they are yet to become fact. These are the few things. They are truths yet to become fact. Important thing, including your body, you create with your mind, with your ego, with your structure. Krishna says, the last moment of your demise, what is your thought? That is only going to decide what is your next birth. It's a very important thing to understand. Last moment, what you think, that only is going to decide what is your next birth. Actually, when you die, when you leave the body, your whole life will come in a small fast-forward form, in a condensed form. You will see your whole life in a condensed way, in a very short way. Just in few minutes, the whole thing will come. So all your peak experiences will come up. All your peak experiences in the life will pop up. You will see all the peak experiences. If you have lived throughout your life just by eating, naturally what will you think? Anyhow, even if I take one more body, I am going to eat. Let us take a body which is very comfortable for eating. Which is the best body for eating? Pig, naturally. Pig. No, really, this is the way you decide. This is the logic you use and decide. You see the totality of your peak experiences. Based on that, you design your own body. If you have spent all your life just in eating, you take pig birth, next body. If you have spent all your life just by sleeping, lethargic way, you take buffalo body. That's the best way to be. Lethargic, no responsibility. Have you seen a single buffalo going for a regular job? They don't have to pay bills. They don't have to bring their kids up. They don't have to bother anything else. And they don't even have a depression problem. They don't go to psychiatrist. Have you seen a single buffalo who is going to psychiatrist? No. Nothing is necessary. There is no responsibility. When you don't have responsibility, you can totally be lethargic. So when you don't take any responsibility, when you don't create, if you have spent your whole life just in a lethargic way, if your father is a wealthy guy, if he hands over all the wealth to you, there is every chance for you to take the next janma as a buffalo. Because when your father creates and leaves it to you, you do not know the value. You do not know the value. I always tell people, never give property to your son. If you hate him, then give property. If you want that he should be destroyed, then give property. Otherwise, give courage, responsibility, intelligence, and help him to stand on his own. Only then he will know the value. He will know the value. Even if you are going to give property, don't give as long as you are alive. Never give. Because you see, when you are alive, even if something wrong happens, even if he does something wrong, you will be there to protect him. So let him learn how to stand up, how to stand on his own feet. Let him understand, let him become responsible when you are alive. If you give naturally, he will never learn the intricacies. See, Lakshmi will stay only when you create, never if it simply comes. There are thousands of survey reports which says, research reports which says, nobody maintains the money which they get through lottery. Nobody maintains the money which they get through lottery. There are survey reports which proves very clearly, more than 90% of the people lose the money within a year. Within a year. Because to maintain Lakshmi is not a joke. You need tremendous intelligence to maintain Lakshmi. So it's the intelligence based on which you decide your body. If you live just for eating, then know what is going to be your Janma. If you live just sleeping, know what is going to be your Janma. It is your setup, it is your mental decision which decides even your body. According to me, your disease is also nothing but your own investments. Please forgive me if I hurt you. But sometimes truth hurts. Truth hurts. Every disease, you have some investment. Go deep into the mental setup and analyze. You may need, see, even the attention need makes you fall sick. Especially in this country, nobody gives attention to others. Everybody is busy. Everybody is busy in their routine. So if you want attention, what kids do? They put the blanket and say, Mom, I'm not feeling well. Immediately you are attended. Immediately you are attended. That is why you create your own disease for so many other reasons. Even the attention need creates the diseases. And there's a new thing coming up, Monday blow-ups. Have you heard of that? Monday blow-ups. People get cardiac arrest. People get heart attack Monday mornings. Anyhow, so all these things, look, you can directly relate them to your mind, to your mental setup, and 90% of the psychosomatic diseases are from your mental setup. So, if you look little deep, you invite a guest. Not only you simply invite, you give a phone call, you leave voice message, then you send a mail, finally you send a fax, and then finally you send somebody with a flight ticket and get him. The moment he enters your house, you say, oh, I told you to bring somebody else, you brought him. Only the moment he enters your house, you understand it's a wrong person. You did not call the right person. You say, oh, I have not called you. Same way, all your diseases are your guests. You invite him, you do everything to get him. But finally you say, oh, I have not done anything, I have not called. Swamiji, what is this? You say, I have called my disease. How will I call? Small story. Guy entered into McDonald's. Had enough of stuff. Ate all the possible things. I'm surprised to see such big Coca-Cola bottles. In India, even cows won't drink so much water. I'm surprised. Such big Coca-Cola bottles and stuff. The coffee especially. Oh, Baba. And burgers they build like houses. Anyhow, after finishing everything, he received a bill. He said, I haven't ordered for it. You see, you don't order for bill, but it always comes to you. It is the effect of the cause which you created. So can you say No, I have not ordered for bill, it has come. No. You may not order for disease, but you created all the causes. So naturally effect has to happen. If you look little deep and analyze, you can understand every disease, every physical pain, every emotional pain is related to some part of your mental setup. The chakras. Every emotion is related to some chakra. For example, stomach is related to, the navel chakra is related to worry and depression. You can always see any news which you can't bear or digest, if it comes to you, the first blow will be for stomach. Either you will have stomach upset or diarrhea. Am I right? How many of you have experienced? You see, anything which gives you shock, the first blow will be for your stomach, because navel chakra is related to worrying and depression. Every chakra is related to some emotion. Of course, this is what we are going to deal in the Ananda Spurana program, this 2-day meditation workshop. The emotions related to every chakra will be analyzed, and a particular meditation to cleanse and awaken that chakra. You will undergo the 7 different meditation techniques to cleanse all the 7 chakras. It's a 36 hours program. Every chakra is related to some emotion. If you use that emotion, that chakra opens, you get the benefit, help from it. If you abuse that emotion, that gets locked and you suffer from it. You abuse your emotions, you abuse your being, you abuse your mind without knowing, unconsciously. There starts the whole trouble. If you know how to use, you will not only escape from the disease, you will have a positive well-being, which is beyond the word health. Health is just a word, no diseaseness, but there is something more, positive well-being, a bubbling living energy. So, if you look little deep, the whole thing is just your own creation. You attract, you invite. It's like a dish attracting the satellite signals. Your pain body attracts more pain. Your ego attracts more suffering to itself. Because in the planet Earth, every being has got his own instinct to survive. Just like that, your ego also has got its own instinct to survive. The instinct to survive creates more pain, more suffering, so that it can live more strongly on your being. Let you understand this and come out of it, experience the bliss, eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you.
Let's give Swamiji a round of applause.